Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the stutter. Episode 60 of Survival of the Fitted, Malika Andrews' favorite podcast on the internet. You're listening to your boy intern Joe, aka Joe Williams, and we got none other than Ian Pierno out here in Austin, Texas. How you feeling today?
It's good, man. I'm not gonna lie. I hate leaving LA for work trips, except for the occasional New York visit. Like, I definitely live in the camp of like everywhere that's not LA or New York is stupid. But I kind of like it here.
Down in Texas.
It's kind of like, I thought it was gonna be like some Ted Cruz, like anti-abortion. Like, I thought it was gonna be like some like crazy, Texas, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say.
Down in Texas.
But Austin is really not like that. It's actually super charming. Like, I would love to like be in like a bachelorette party here or something. You know what I mean? Like, last night, me and like my coworker Eli sat at like the hotel had a bar, and we like sat at the bar, like on a bar stool, drinking a drink at a bar, talking to like strangers around us. I felt like I was in like a movie.
Do they have like saloon doors and stuff down in Texas?
No, but Austin is not. Austin is, no, this hotel is like pink themed.
So how long have you been there?
I don't know, like 12 hours.
So how many like Wild West shootouts have you been in 12 hours that you've been there? About three. Okay. I'm 2-1, so that's a winning record. I'll take that's it. Fair. It's better than the Nets. Better than the Nets. Is that our segue? Segue alert. Joe Williams. Segue alert.
No. Oh, Joe Williams. I gotta say, right before this pod started, Joe was like, "Hey, bro, I think I might be done with the nicknames."
Oh yeah, true, guys. I'm done with the nicknames. I had a great run, 55 deep. But I think it's just time for me to claim my name, Intern Joe, and just take that to the moon. So that's what I'm gonna
do. You're wrong. You're gonna come up with a nickname by the end of this recording. It's a tradition. It's a tradition, and you're not even an intern anymore. Why was it so hard to say an intern? No, you okay. Speaking of not winning any games, the Brooklyn Nets. I think the big thing to talk about today, damn, we really are some sports talking heads. We really are.
Let's put on our sports hat.
The sports hat. We're going to talk about Ben Simmons, right?
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Ben Simmons. So this is, but before we get into that real quick, this is like a fit positive podcast, right?
I'd like to think so, yes.
This is a fit positive podcast. Like, we always support, like, we want dudes to dress up. If dudes didn't dress up, you and I wouldn't have jobs, right?
We would be unemployed. That is true.
We would be unemployed. Mm-hmm. I want to know what you think about, so Ben Simmons in game 3, I don't think he even showed up to game 4, or he was like in a box or something. But game 3, he showed up in like the most colorful fit you've ever seen, right? It was like orange and blue, and like it really stood out, especially in the Brooklyn Nets arena. That's like what made it even crazier, because Barclays, obviously the Nets wear, black and white jerseys. The court is black and white. Even the lighting in there is pretty dark. I don't know if you've ever been to Barclays, but like it's really dimly lit, kind of like Staples for Lakers games, like same type of lighting. So this dude just stood the heck out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the photo right now. Orange pants are cool. I own a pair of orange pants as well. We know that. We know this. So what, you're just asking my opinion on it? I think I've never been a fan of Ben Simmons as far as dressing or on the court. Hopefully we can get him on the podcast one day, but not really a fan.
You're like, hey, I hate this guy. I hope he comes on the pod. Also 11/11, make a wish. But
it's 9/11 over here, George Bush. Like, let's relax.
Whoa, jet fuel does not melt steel beams.
Oh, tough one.
Anyways, so what did you think that we're like your opinions on Ben Simmons, like the person and dresser aside? Was it appropriate?
I thought that this was like I honestly think that this was like a very stupid thing to do. like knowing the amount of flack and heat that he has on him, and he decides to like stand out while sitting down on the bench. I wasn't a fan of it. I think it just screams like douchey to me. Like I feel like he's like has this personality of like being above the team. There's like stories of him in what college did he go to? LSU. I don't know if you know, but there's like stories of him in LSU. He was supposed to win like the whatever award you get at the end of the year, like the whatever the guy's name is, Wooden Award in college, but he didn't win it because he didn't have a 2.0 grade point average. But then when they asked him why he didn't have a 2.0, he said, why do I go to class? I'm gonna get drafted to the NBA. So that just kind of shows you like the type of mentality he has, where it seems like he's like too cool for school. I'm trying to get
Cardale Jones. I didn't come here to play school. You remember that?
Play school.
I didn't come here to play school. Ironically, I saw it recently that Cardale Jones now works for the school. But yeah, I don't know, because you and I think every week we mention we love courtside outfits. We love the pictures of dudes courtside. Like I never thought like a week later I'd be like talking with you and we'd be like, man, like that shit was kind of whack. Because you know what I mean? Like your team is getting beat, but I don't even think that's the big thing. It's the fact that like the main characters of that game or any of the games should be the guys playing. So that's KD, that's Kyrie. Shit, that's even like Andre Drummond. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like those are the main characters of the playoff game. And like he totally was like, everyone's talking about me right now. Let's get talked about more. And it's just like, I hate the phrase like all press is good press. I just like don't think it's true. Like that's like the worst PR public relations advice you could ever be given. So I was kind of like, yo, what the fuck is bro doing?
Yeah, it just wasn't a good move. But like situation aside, I still think it is a lame outfit. Like I still do think that.
Oh yeah, it's a really bad outfit.
Like I feel like we haven't even gotten into that aspect of it.
We haven't even talked. Right now we've just been talking about like the fact that it's bright. You know what I mean? But really, it's pretty ugly, and not in like the good kind of ugly too. Because like some ugly is cool. Like even like let's talk about like Kuz like wearing like the raft sweater. Like it's actually like kind of ridiculous and silly, but that's what makes it fashion. Or like when Miles wore his blue gloves that everyone hated. You know what I mean? Like it's like silly and it's like on purpose and it's intentional. You know what I mean? Like you're those types of guys like lean into the, you know, I don't want to say ugly, but like silly fashion. That's really what it is.
Statements. It's like statements. Yeah.
Not even. It's just silly, bro. It's just silly. Okay. And like this shit I'm looking at it right now. So for anyone that didn't see, he's wearing like a varsity bomber. It's like blue sleeves, orange cuffs, purple base, orange neck, striped neck, a graphic tee underneath.
Graphic t-shirt underneath.
We gotta talk about that real quick. My biggest pet peeve in life, I think I texted you this, but I don't know if we talked about it on the pod, is dudes messing up good outfits by wearing graphic tees.
Yeah, that's also a pet peeve of mine.
Like a cool flannel, a cool jacket or something, but then there's like 50% of a graphic tee showing and it just like messes it up and it takes away from the jacket. So he's wearing like a graphic tee and then like these orange shoes and then orange pants and like orange glasses. It's really ugly.
It's really bright and it's just garbage. It's just garbage.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons,
damn,
do better.
Are we a Ben Simmons hater pod?
I just am not like a fan of like him right now, bruh. Like how you gonna like set out game 4?
I mean,
it's just like
we don't even have to get into all that because Stephen A. Smith and shit already has.
Yeah,
like,
I guess.
I mean, I feel you. I feel you.
Geez.
But yeah, when I saw game 3, I was like, bro, this is kind of lame. Like, you can't like be annoyed with the attention you're getting and then call for attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Kuzma gets all the attention for like his outfits, but like that's like his thing. You know what I mean? Like he wants it and like he's like contributing. You know what I mean? Like he's in the news for the right reasons, even if it is like roasting him on Fit Ain't Nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess we do have a little bit of basketball DNA in us. It's not just all about the fashion. It's like you kind of have to read the room and pick and choose your moments.
Right.
That's growth.
I mean,
That's
I'm
growth
from
right
North
there.
Carolina. I've always had basketball DNA in me. But I'll be
Well, I
honest
don't.
with you real quick. I've been falling back in love with basketball recently. Like
Have
these
you really?
playoffs.
Have you
Yeah,
rekindled your relationship with the game of basketball?
we talked about it a bit, like how I went to one playing game, one playoff game. I was like, oh shit, like this is kind of fun. Like I've
Mhm.
actually really, this happens to me like every like couple years. It's like I kind of fall out of love with basketball a little bit, but then it pulls me right back in.
So, do
And
you
I'm
have a
at that point right
toxic
now.
relationship with the game of basketball? Is it one of those off and on things for you? Is that the theme?
Well, you know how much I love an on and off toxic thing.
I do know how much you love an on and off toxic thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I did go to Palm Springs this weekend.
Lord knows what that entails. But I'm not gonna lie. I was watching a little bit of basketball myself the last 48 hours. I seen the Nets game, the last two of them. And I'm in tune with the Grizzlies games. You know what I'm saying? Not because I want the Grizzlies to win, because I want the Timberwolves to win. So I've been watching a little bit of basketball myself.
They tried to protest again.
Oh yeah, they did try to protest again.
Did you see the video?
I seen the dude reading the girl.
Yeah, okay, so
Pause.
break it down for the people that haven't seen it.
All right, so a little bit of background information. The last 3 of the 4 Timberwolves games, somebody has interrupted the game on some protests, chain yourself to the basket, glue yourself to the floor, that type of thing. So you got this guy, security guard, sitting maybe like the second row, and there's these 2 women, and one of them pulls their phone out. Like she's like getting ready to record a moment. And the guy looks over and he's like, okay, kind of sus. Like I'm gonna keep my eye over there. Like kind of sus.
Locked
like he
in.
read it perfectly, like literally perfectly. And then the other girl is just kind of like hesitant. She's hesitant. She's kind of like, okay, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna do it. And as soon as this woman moves a muscle, my man's the security guard of the year leaps over the freaking front row like Dennis Rodman and tackles this woman as soon as she makes contact with the hardwood. Never seen
JJ Watt
it.
type shit.
JJ Watt sphere tackle, Randy Orton vibes. It was the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. And I was like, bruh. And then to make matters worse, they drag her body off of the hardwood like she's like a corpse. Like it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I was like, bruh, this is read perfectly.
Dude,
crazy.
What the craziest part of that video, besides like how locked in bro was on, saving the game, was how unbothered the players were. Like if you look at the video again, like it's kind of zoomed in. I'm sure like eventually they turned around, but she runs on the court, gets tackled, and none of like I think the Grizzlies were on offense. None of the Grizzlies players turn around. Like none of them turn around and see like, what is going on?
Well, like I said, that's like the 4th time that's happened or the 3rd or 4th time that's happened in like the last 2 weeks. But I do know what you're saying because I've watched the video multiple times and I was like, man, like nobody like bothered to like stare at this woman, get her body dragged off the court. They just like kind of glanced over and were like, all right, like what's new? Granted, it's the playoffs, so they're probably super locked in the moment, but still, that's crazy. When are we going to do that? Yeah. When are we just going to paint LeagueFits on our body and just run on the court and spend the night in county jail?
Like we were talking about with Arvin, there has to be like a cause for like something that is worth gluing ourselves to the floor over.
I'll take the charge, man. It comes with the territory. I'm not going to lie. We could do a little survival fitted pro run. Yeah.
I would take a little charge. I mean, I'm sure like we could get Figman to put into like our bailout money into the slam budget.
Yeah. We could do that on expense report.
Yeah. Expense report, put in the little spreadsheet. Man, Joe traveled for work for the first time and he was like, bro, he's like, am I going to get fired? He's like, I spent $800 on Ubers and food. And I was like, no, dude, it's okay. Like you were working.
Yeah, I was working. Those pizzas was worth it. That was part of the process. All that was worth it. $60, checking it, all that was worth it.
Man, watching you go corporate has been so fun.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Don't really know what that means, but
there's your nickname. Says your corporate Joe.
Corporate Joe.
I
don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I'm rocking with that one by the end of the pod.
Okay, Mister. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not doing nicknames anymore.
I wanted to talk a little bit. I don't know how to shift gears back to the Brooklyn. I probably should have mentioned that when we were talking about the Nets.
It's fine.
What does this mean? Because if you remember a couple podcasts ago, we tried to make a little bracket. You had Brooklyn all the way in the finals. Now they're gone in the first round.
We both had them all the way. We both had them in the finals, but we differed on who we picked to win the championship.
Okay, so we both had them in the finals, hypothetically speaking. What does this mean for League? Like, we're gone. No more KD, no more Kyrie, no more Patty.
The East, it's tough for the East for sure. Who's the new frontrunner? Is it Miami? Just because they have PJ Tucker?
Well, I mean, Boston, like, if my last two games serve me right, look like they're pretty good. Yeah. Either way, none of these teams can beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, like I said. So I'm not even tripping.
Now, because I had Brooklyn over Minnesota in the LeagueFits finals. So now I think, obviously Minnesota is by far the best dressed team left in the playoffs, which means that they have to beat Memphis, which I hate saying. I want to root for Ja. But I also like rooting for Anthony Edwards, I'm not going to lie to you, and D'Lo and all them. Man, what a cool basketball team. We have to root really for them. Otherwise, we're going to have two teams bounce in the first round.
Are there any, like, not Cinderella stories because they're all like professional athletes, but is there any underdog favorites? I think New Orleans is one. I don't know if they're dressing like that though.
Brandon Ingram has like always been a low-key dresser.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe,
low key. People actually love like the way he dresses.
I seen him wear jean shorts and I think it just kind of like tuned me out.
No, Brandon Ingram, when he was like a younger dude on the Lakers, he was like a huge designer guy, which I don't think he still does, but he always is wearing like mixed designer like tracksuits and things like that, and people liked it.
Shout out Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone else on the team really dresses, but yeah. So I guess what the whole point of this is just to say that this is a Timberwolves. We're Timberwolves fans for the playoffs, right?
Yeah, we are.
For the sake of our jobs and having content, we need a Timberwolves Cinderella run.
100%.
I feel like that's not even like that unlikely because like Book is hurt, so like the clear favorite in the West was the Suns, and they're out. So really, it's like they would just have to beat the Warriors at some point.
So are the Warriors, I think, clear favorite in the West now?
Probably right. Which for LeagueFits doesn't bode well.
Utah, New Orleans. Yeah, it would be Golden State.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
All right, go Wolves. Give us all the upsets.
Last thing I want to talk about. Scotty Barnes, because I think this happened like the day after we recorded our last pod. Scotty Barnes won the Rookie of the Year. Congratulations, Scotty Barnes. What is this? I feel like Rookie of the Year, also LeagueFits Rookie of the Year, in my opinion. Maybe not. It's kind of crazy. I don't know.
I mean, not to like spoil the Rookie of the Year, so I'm gonna like attempt not to spoil it. But Scotty Barnes deserves everything coming to him. He went so hard at the end of the season for LeagueFits, for Fits in general. Good for him. And he's like a cool ass funny kid. Yeah.
Come on the pod. Show us how funny.
Yeah, come on the pod. Let's get him on the pod. We need a new guest. We haven't had a guest in a couple episodes. Let's get one for Thursday.
True.
You get us a guest.
I'll work on it. I'll do my best to get us a guest.
Yeah. All right, man. It was good. All right. Let's cheer for the Timberwolves together.
Go Timberwolves. Episode 60, Survival of the Fitted in the books.
Come to LA. Come to LA next week. Let's just do one of these in person.
Shout out Malika Andrews. Respond to my DMs.
Malika Andrews.
Week 2.
All right. Peace, boy.
Go follow Survival of the Fitted wherever you get your podcast. Tell them that intern Joe sent you. Click the follow button. Go follow Survival of the Fitted.